Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel AgroAcademy. Today we are starting our PIB weekly sessions. This is for the second week of the May month. I have already shared the PDF on our Telegram channel. Check the description for the link. If you are preparing for NABARD Grade A 2026, we'll be going to cover these updates weekly over here. So please do subscribe to the channel. And if you have any corrections or any suggestions, let me know in the comment section. If you find this session useful, give it a like and share your thoughts, of course. So let's get started with the video. So first, we'll be studying the Bihar lychee crisis. Why it was in news? Because Bihar's 1,000 crore lychee industry has faced a severe crisis due to the infestation of lychee sting bug. And this infestation has happened because of the unseasonal heavy rainfall that has happened in the month of May. So as the name lychee sting bug has come up, so it gets automatically important for the exam. So I want everyone to study the etiology, and under etiology the scientific name, family, order and the nature of damage comes. So I want everyone to study, to go to Google or ChatGPT whatever, and to study about this insect. The order, since it is a bug, so order is definitely what? Order is definitely Hemiptera. Since it is a bug, so the order is definitely a hemipteran insect. It is a hemipteran insect. And how much crop damage has happened? Only 25% of the crop has survived in certain areas, and more than 1/3 has been damaged. And production is also expected to drop very significantly. That's why the Agriculture Ministry, Union Agriculture Ministry has ordered to constitute a special task force to assess the situation. The Shahi Lychee, this name has come up. So this Shahi Lychee, it has got GI tag from the area Muzaffarpur. This is also very important from the exam point of view. So this Shahi Lychee, it holds geographical indication tag for its unique quality and flavor. So it has faced a significant risk from this resilient sting bug. This sting bug has very much resilience. So here is a one-liner tip for the exam, which will help you to retain this information in a single line. Next comes the news that our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, has approved the minimum support price for the next Kharif season. That means the Kharif season of 2026 and 27. Okay. Like every year, the MSP has been increased as compared to the last year. And how MSP has been calculated? You already know that MSP is fixed at a level of at least 1.5 times the cost of production, and the method that is used in calculating MSP is A2 plus FL method. There are three methods in MSP calculation: A1 method, then A2 plus FL method. Here FL stands for family labor, and then the C2 method. Okay. MSP ensures at least 50% return over their cost of production to the farmers. And highest absolute MSP increase has been seen in the sunflower seed, which is rupees 622 per quintal. Then in case of Niger seed, 515 rupees has been increased. In case of cotton, 557, and in case of sesame, rupees 500 has been increased per quintal. Then highest margin has been increased in case of moong, that is green gram, which is 61%. And next comes bajra and maize, which is 56%. Tur or arahar or pigeon pea, 54% margin has been increased, and all other crops at least 50% margin over the cost of production has been increased. So here comes the confusion. In question, it may ask that in which crop the highest absolute MSP increase has been seen. So if the question comes like this, then you have to mark the answer as sunflower seed. But if they ask about the margin, then in which crop the highest margin increase has been seen, then you have to mark it as moon or green gram. So you need to be very thorough with this kind of concept, because confusion arises in this kind of situations. So you need to be very thorough and you have to do rigorous studies. This table you have to remember very carefully, because the MSP for PIB is written, it is 204,041 rupees per quintal, and which has shown an increase of 72 rupees as compared to the last year. Last year it was 369 rupees per quintal. Okay, and the margin here is mentioned, it is 50%. How do we calculate the margin? If you divide this price by the cost of production, then this margin comes around 50%. Okay, this is calculated like this. Then for jowar, bajra, ragi and maize, you can see, and you can also calculate the margin. Remember very carefully, because here the MSPs are written for the year 2025 and 26, but in question they will be asking for the year 2026 and 27. So you need to see the year for which year they are asking the MSP. So please be very careful about the year. Okay. Here is a MCQ tip. You need to be you need to remind these things significantly so that it retains in your brain. Then next comes the fertilizer. As you know that war is happening in the Middle East countries, so there is a possibility of fertilizer reduction, or there is a possibility of shortage in fertilizer. So that's why everyone is so vigilant about the fertilizer stock. And here it has mentioned that India secures 51% of Kharif fertilizer requirement ahead of season. Okay, total Kharif requirement is 390.54 lakh metric tons, but we have 199.65 lakh metric ton with us. So it is only 51% of the requirement. Earlier the buffer level means the stock, how much stock is available. Earlier it was 33%, but now it has increased to 51%. And the farmer prices means, I'll explain in the next slide. Farmer prices remain unchanged. Farmer prices means when at what price the farmers will get the fertilizer, and this basically applies for urea, not for other fertilizers. Okay, so this table depicts the domestic production and the import, how much we import from other countries. And urea has highest domestic production, and if you look at the MOP, we don't have any domestic production for MOP, muriate of potash, and whatever fertilizer we get for in case of MOP, we have to import all of it. Okay, now I'll be explaining the nutrient based subsidy and the control subsidy which is applied for urea. Okay, what happens in case of urea? Whatever cost of production is there for the company, the urea producing company, that cost is bear, or that cost is given by the government to the companies, so that farmers can get the fertilizer, get urea at the price whichever is already fixed So okay, for the price of urea doesn't change, but if the cost of production increases for the company, then the government has to pay more amount to the company. But farmer doesn't need to pay more. Farmers will get the fertilizer at whatever price was fixed by the government. So the burden doesn't rely upon the farmers, but the burden relies upon the government. That's why farmers apply urea in a larger amount. Like if they don't need the urea also, they apply this in a very large amount, and for this the efficiency gets reduced, the misuse of fertilizer happens, and the syndicate kind of thing also happens. That's why like central government is now implementing like schemes and all, like PM Pranam scheme, as you have already heard about the scheme, and reduction in fertilizer schemes, those sort of activities and those sort of things to reduce the use of fertilizer, so that soil health and nutrition gets maintained. And in case of nutrient based subsidy, what happens is some percent of subsidy is fixed, and if the cost of production increases, if fertilizer producing company increases the cost of production, then farmer has to bear the cost of production, and farmers have to pay more amount to purchase those products. And the nutrient based subsidy applies in case of DAP, diammonium phosphate, NPK fertilizers, and MOP. But urea comes under the controlled subsidy scheme. I hope you have understood the concept. Next comes the Sehat mission. Sehat stands for Science and Engineering for Health and Transformative Nutrition, which is jointly launched by ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, and ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research. Here you need to remember the Union Minister, okay? Union Minister for Health is JP Nadda, and for Agriculture, of course, you know Shivraj Singh Chauhan. The main objective for this Sehat mission is to build a framework for healthy food, healthy farms, and a healthy India. To remember this line, healthy food, healthy farms, and healthy India, which connects agriculture, nutrition, and public health through scientific collaboration. To go through the DG name also, ICMR, and both ICMR and ICAR, and the ministry is also Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Okay, this is significant because it is the first joint mission that bridges farm to health pipeline. Okay, this is important. In exam, a question may come like which is the first joint mission of ICR and ICMR. So many options will be there, so I need to mark the Sehat mission. Next comes Ministry of Rural Development, and here mainly Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana has been mentioned because it has marked 25 years on May 10, 2026. It was launched in the year 2000, and 25 years has been completed in 2025. Okay. Where it was launched? It was launched in the place Vairunda Sahar, which is located in Madhya Pradesh. What is the objective of this scheme? The objective is it provides all-weather road connectivity to the rural or the remote areas, mainly in villages to the remote areas. Okay. Right now the fourth phase has been going on, and the target is 25,000 unconnected and undeserved habitations connected. Okay. 25,000, you need to remember the number 25,000. CSS ratio, that is the fund sharing ratio, is 60-40. 60% the cost will be borne by the center and 40% will be borne by the state governments. For the northeastern states, the ratio is 90:10 for northeastern, Himalayan, and island states. Okay. And this comes under the Ministry of Rural Development, not under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. You need to remember this very carefully. Then also PM Janman link has been also mentioned. This component of the Gram Sadak Yojana scheme, it connects the PBTGs, okay, primitively vulnerable tribal groups, connects the PBTGs. You need to remember this also. Next comes the Viksit Bharat G Ramji Act. It is the successor of the NREGA scheme, MG Narega scheme, sorry, not NREGA, MG Narega, it is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. But now the name has been changed and it has been modified to Viksit Bharat Guarantee for Employment and Livelihood Mission Act. Notification has been issued in May 11 and this will come into force from July 1st, 2026. So what is the difference between MG Narega and this VBG Ramji Act? In MG Narega, 100 days of guaranteed employments were provided, but in case of this scheme, 25 more days has been included. That means 125 days of statutory employment guarantee will be provided. Central allocation is about 95,692 crore, which is again a historic allocation for any scheme. Then existing job cards, that means those workers or those population which had a job card, that is MG Narega card, those will be valid and those will be included under this PIB Ramji Act also. And what is the benefit of this scheme? It will provide better wages to the employees, then unemployment will be reduced and unemployment allowances will be also given and interest will be also paid in case of delaying of the wages. This is a very commendable benefit. So we need to see if how much can be achieved from this scheme and which are the target groups, mainly rural poor, laborers, women and the self-help group and farmers. Next, National Panchayat Awards for 2025 has been announced and 42 numbers of panchayats from 17 states and union territories has been awarded. Karnataka has got 6 awards, highest among all the states. Andhra Pradesh has got 5 awards and Orissa has also got 5 awards. These themes are given under which the awards has been given. And just you need to just go through once. Next comes the Ministry of Cooperation. Why it was in news? Because Union Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah has laid the foundation stone for a dairy plant in Kargil, which has a capacity of 10,000 litre per day. You need to remember this. In Kargil, the capacity of 10,000 litre per day. And a memorandum of understanding between Ladakh Milk Federation and the Mother Dairy has been signed. Okay, then next comes the EMCS app, which EMCS stands for Electronic Milk Collection System. This is a new thing, so you need to remember this Electronic Milk Collection System. What is the significance of this? Through this app, milk producers can track the milk accounts transparently. On a single app, they can track the milk accounts. Okay. Then future plannings of this MAU has been also mentioned. Cooperative societies will be also established for Pashmina shawl, you know, their organic products and honey also. Okay, then second regional conference on cooperative reforms, which has been organized in Aizawl, the capital city of the state Mizoram, and it is organized by Ministry of Cooperation under Sakhar Se Samriddhi vision of PM Modi. The first conference of this kind was held in Jaipur, Rajasthan, and it is a part of the nationwide series to strengthen the grassroots cooperative institutions. Next comes the Ministry of Finance. Why it was in news? It was in news because scheduled commercial banks have recorded 15.9% non-food credit growth in the last financial year, and agricultural credit grows to 15.7%, services 19%, and industry 15%. Okay, need to remember the digits very carefully. In tabular form also it has been mentioned. Need to just go through. It has been given in chart form also. So just you just need to look over. Next comes the public sector banks. Public sector banks has recorded a high net profit of 1.98 lakh crore the last financial year, which is 2025 and 26, and it is the fourth consecutive year of profitability. Gross NPA, that is non-performing assets, has been 1.93% and net has been only 0.39%, which is the lowest as compared to the last year. Why the NPA has been reducing? Because retailer, agriculture, and MSME segments have shown a growth due to different government policies and different government loans and all. That's why the NPA, non-performing asset, has been drastically lowered. Next comes the Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme. Indian government has approved this scheme, a 5.0 version. This scheme guarantees the credit for the MSMEs, medium, small, micro, small and medium enterprises and airlines to tide over the West Asia crisis. We all know what is happening in West Asia, and target has been fixed as 2,55,000 crore over additional credit. Who will give this guarantee? That this body is National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company Limited. You need to remember this. And guarantee coverage is 100% for the MSMEs and 90% for non-MSMEs and the airline sector. Okay. Loan tenure for MSMEs is 5 years, including 1 year of moratorium. And then for the airline sector, it is 7 years. Last date is 31st of May 2027. The eligible borrowers are MSMEs and non-MSMEs with existing WSA limits. Scheduled passengers also. They can also avail this loan. Next comes the DFS, which approved a revised viability plan 2.0 for the regional rural banks. The viability plan 1 was for the financial year 2021 and to 2024-25 for 3 years. Then 2.0 has been approved by DFS for the next 3 years, that is 2025-2026 to 2027 and 2028, which aims to enhance the financial sustainability and long-term competitiveness. Who will oversee this matter? The DFS, Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, that is the RBI supervisory body, along with NABARD. RBI, here the RBI, a little bit of explanation about RBI is given. RBI was established under the RBI in 1976. But you need to remember, the first RBI, which name was Prathama Bank, which was established in the year 1975. First, the RBI was established, then the Act was passed in 1976. Then their share, 3 banks hold their share in case of RBI. First is Sponsor Bank, which share is 50%. Then state government also holds a share of 15% and center 35%. Okay. DFS has launched the Bharat Maritime Insurance Pool also. Bharat Maritime Insurance Pool, BMIP. with sovereign guarantee of US dollar 1.4 billion. In case of rupees, it is 12,980 crore. That covers the marine risks amid the Middle East tensions. Okay. What risks will be covered? And hull and machinery, cargo, P&I, war risk, everything will be covered. It is launched by Department of Financial Services DFS again under Ministry of Finance. Next comes the International Fund for Agricultural Development, which has launched a new 8-year country strategic opportunities program for up to the year 2033. The main objective is to enhance the rural incomes, strengthen resilience, and scale sustainable livelihood opportunities across the country. Who will partner with this? The Government of India with IFEB that covers multiple rural development, livelihood, and agri-related programs. Okay. Next comes Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. It was in news because of India's clean energy transition, and under this, by 2030, the non-fossil fuel capacity will be increased to 500 gigawatt, which is a part of India's nationally determined contribution commitment. Then, clean energy transition is now central to India's industrial competitiveness, state positioning, and long-term economic resilience. It is not just about the climate commitments; it is also holistically related to the industrial competitiveness and trade positioning, and so on. And this journey is innovation-driven, globally competitive, and this also binds together to the Atmanirbhar energy ecosystem. And it was held in the CII Annual Business Summit, which has highlighted India's energy industry convergence. Under this, you need to remember certain things like the PM Kusum scheme, PM Surya Ghar Yojana, National Green Hydrogen Mission. These are the flagship MNRE schemes. So you have to remember those schemes and just study a bit about these schemes. Next comes another news that is about the DGT, that organized industry consultation in NSTI Kanpur for aeronautics and allied sector under the PM Setu scheme, and it was chaired by the Secretary MSDE Debashri Mukherjee. Why this event was held? Because to mobilize the participation for NCOE for aeronautics and allied sectors. What do you mean by NCOE? It stands for National Center of Excellence. There are 5 NCOE are there. First one is located in Kanpur, Bhubaneswar, Chennai, Hyderabad, Ludhiana. Okay, you need to remember these 5 Center of Excellences, National Center of Excellences, and this summit, this was bilateral. India and France, they jointly organized this summit. So this is a bilateral summit, and the PM Setu stands for Pradhan Mantri Skilling and Employability Transformation through Upgraded ITS. You need to remember the full name of PM Setu. Next is Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog, IIM Ahmedabad, is Indian Institute of Management, Gates Foundation, and Government of Gujarat. They together have organized an workshop on SDG 5, that is a Sustainable Development Goal. We know there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and under this, number 5 is gender equality. So these organizations have together conducted a workshop under State Support Mission for state and district reports. Okay. And what is the output of this? State and district reports on SDG 5 is launched to accelerate women-led development. You need to remember the main objective, which is women-led development. And The SDG 5, I have already told, gender equality and empowerment of all women and girls. Next, another scheme, AIM Sumbad, which here AIM stands for Atal India Mission. Okay, this is a flagship scheme of Niti Aayog, National Institute for Transforming India, for promoting innovation and entrepreneurship. These schemes, regional dialogue or consultation event, has been held in Raja Ramana Center for Advanced Technology in Indore, Madhya Pradesh. And various stakeholders were present, stakeholders from government, industry, academics, incubator and startups, those were present. Okay, so here we are just winding up the session. Some questions are there for your practice. After you go through the session, after you just study very carefully, then you can attempt the questions, and you must attempt the questions because this will help you to solve the MCQs. And in last, we have added the rapid fire revision table. This is very briefly and in bullet points in tabular format. The informations are noted down. This will help you to revise in a faster way. So with this, I would like to wind up the session, and we'll further continue with this kind of sessions. And if you find this session helpful, then do subscribe to the channel and please like and share and comment also. That will help us to improve. And yeah, we'll meet in the next session with some new insightful videos. Till then, thank you everyone.